Good morning and welcome. This is Mike Harris broadcasting on veteranstoday.com as well as freedomslips.com, Studio B Revolution Radio. And today is Thursday, August 13th, 2015. And as promised, our guest today is Dr. Mehran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation. Dr. Keshe, good morning and welcome. How are you, sir?
Oh, good. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Actually, it's evening for you. I apologize. I said it's morning here, so
it's dinner time.
Dinner time. Okay, I understand.
We can tell you how your breakfast will taste. We fasted.
Well, I've already had my breakfast, and it was quite enjoyable. So
how's that with you?
Anyway, why don't we start out? We saw the interesting article in Veterans Today this week about some of the issues that are having some of the conflicts out there that are going on. People trying to undermine, your efforts and trying to hijack the technology you've been developing.
It's not hijacking. We are very open about it. I've given all my findings freely to the human race. It's just that we have a problem is that some people have abused and misused the freedom.
Well,
that they are trying to, in a way, trying to convince governments the technology is theirs, where the technology is getting developed by the Keshe Foundation community worldwide. And the governments are getting woken up in that what is set up. So they cannot steal. They can't steal a gift. If they try to pattern, the patterns are very well known. The structure is known.
Well, we discussed that, over the months and years that have gone by, we've discussed that this technology is so disruptive that there are going to be this type of hijinks, these type of efforts to push it back in the closet, out of sight, so people can't take advantage of it.
They cannot. This is what I've said for years. I've been left too long, too free to publish too many books, give it too many teachings, too many lectures, and we have millions of supporters around the world. So it cannot be done. And now the way I have transferred the knowledge to public domain is impossible to shut it down. Well, it comes to the point of impossibilities.
Well, that's all the good news, that they can't shut it down. And I like how you have carefully architected this so that it cannot be suppressed. And I think that is probably one of the more positive things that you've done, in addition to the technology. But it's also a very positive development that, in spite of the best efforts of the people who would like to keep mankind in the dark, you've structured this so that it cannot be hidden any longer.
In a way, it cannot be hidden because people have started developing it, and I made it so simple. Initially, 10 or 15 years ago, it was cocooned in the hypocrisy of nuclear technology, and then I was called a nuclear terrorist from Iran, and all the things which went through with it. And as you know, for 10 years, we couldn't get anywhere in Belgium. And now we found out who's been behind it, why we've been always stuck. Now in Italy, we have a freedom to release the technology and teach the technology openly. And in a way, especially in past 4 or 5 months, in past 6 months, we have achieved in teaching such a large number of people on regular teachings that now people have taken the flagship. They are going ahead. I just guide, I just advise. Most of the research, if you go on the internet, is done by the people for the people. This is the biggest horrible time for multinationals, because the people, when they do it, we don't have professors and doctors and PhDs. Normal people off the street, businessman, chef, cook, barbers, unemployed, because the technology makes sense, they have taken it up, they are developing it. Like today, we started from 9 o'clock international teaching, we nearly finished 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have dedicated the next 5 weeks to health and medicine, where people can test the technology for themselves. It's not hidden that there is such a thing. And we saw today the
No.
first two
So, so,
lessons. People come out.
so what you're doing is putting the people directly in touch with the technology, so there is no longer a gatekeeper. You don't have to go through a physician or a doctor. You can directly access this, see what the results are yourself, and then move on without someone looking over your shoulder and to saying, yes, take this, don't take that.
We we have started the international clinical trial, which means people test, people develop the technology, they say what they've developed, what it can be used for, and the rest will test it if they need it for cancer, for anything. And then they bring the results back to the foundation and they say, this is what it does, this is what I've seen. It didn't work, it worked a little bit, it worked very good. So now there is no clinical trials, there is no patents, there is nothing to control anymore. And now it's hundreds of thousands of people are doing it. We had just a count a couple of days ago. We have over 100 Keshe Foundation organizations in groups, individuals, and associations of foundation or companies around the world. We are one of the biggest scientific institutes worldwide, grown by the people, for the people. So I've done my job. I've achieved what I set out to make the knowledge of a space reachable by every man on the street, and now it is. We've seen it.
Well, good, and congratulations on this. I think this is uh, a good day for you. Let's just say that. Let's go ahead and let's talk about some of your new developments. What is new on the technology front? What have you been working on?
What is
What have you released since the last time we've had you on, and what are you planning to release in the coming months?
today in the morning session? We've seen the people from Philippines, Keshe Foundation people from the Philippines, have released a new medical system, which is just a nano-coated stick with a nano-coated winding, what do you call it, a spiral spring, which you can place in a normal pen. You take your normal pen out and you put a pin in, and you can nano-coat even the spring inside the pen, and then touch the tip of the pen. Don't push it out. Just by touching the tip of it with the skin, you can release pains and difficulties and everything else. And we'll see these, what we call um, the, the pens, the pen lives, will be in the market within a matter of next 2 or 3 weeks. So from now, people can directly interact with technology. You can buy a pen which releases a pen which releases your pain pen. It'll be as normal as you call a pencil very soon. This is done by a normal man in Thailand, a Philippine. And this now you can produce it if you got a cancer. We taught today on the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers for 5 or 6 hours. We done it this today. And we've seen the people who read the what you call attestation, or what they've seen with the people and what they've seen with themselves. And next week we'll have a patient who we have helped through the technology to reverse a brain cancer after the operation, that there is no even sign of the cancer. And we bring other people on. And now till next week, people are going to make these pens and test everything. We have invited worldwide people to come in. Language is no barrier. In the Keshe Foundation, we have become one family, one nation, one planet. We freely share this.
Let me ask a question about the pen itself. Does this merely manage pain, or does this fix the underlying cause of the pain?
There are two type of pain. One is a physical pain, and one is a physical pain which has got a psychological underneath of it. This pen does both. Because it creates both gravitational and magnetical fields, then it sorts the root of the problem psychologically too. Like fibromyalgia, if you have a pain of fibromyalgia, you can do it. Test it. We are not afraid of failing it. We are happy to know that it can develop to the next step. You can put this piece of nano coated material, because it's coated by its own material, on the cheek when you have a toothpick, you got a migraine, you can place it. We already sold part of this material worldwide, known as a pain pad. You've seen it. And now it's going to the next step. We have moved most of the development now in the manufacturing for European section to Italy. And the American side has to start soon. And today the foundations announced any Keshe Foundation group in the world who needs the material, raw material, we are prepared to finance to help them to start off. And then we can support them with the rest as long as they can return the finances to the foundation, that they can support the rest of the groups worldwide. You touch the pen on your skin, you got eczema, touch it with it and try to see what happens. You have a back pain, you have a neuro damage. Everything now is in open. And the beautiful thing is clinical trial does not need FDA anymore because you're doing it at home and then you report it worldwide. How to do. An American guy today showed us how you can use the GANSOF, which is a gas nanostate structure plasma of the, or energy of the, what do you call it, cannabis, without actually seeing a single drop of cannabis, using his effect to reverse cancer. He's to go on the Keshe Foundation 74th Knowledge Seekers. At the end, he has explained clearly how he does it, how it's done, how we create water out of the air, how we produce energy 4 times, 5 times more than what we take from the grid back into the grid. The lift has already been achieved by some people. We are waiting it to become public, that you can see. The cars which reduce power.
Well, let's go back and talk about each of these a little bit. Let's talk about your energy product. That we talked about that on the show last time you were on. What new developments? When is this going to be available? When can people get the kits or buy the product or whatever approach they wish to take? What's the status on this?
We originally put this material out to be the size of a Coca-Cola can that you can put in your car, reduces your fuel consumption. At the moment, without connection, people are using it, reporting between 28 to 30, 35% reduction in fuel. And when you apply to the car, after a while, it should bring it quite drastically down. We call it power generator. And then you find out you don't use the fuel. The next step is to take the tank out. Now we have advanced in past 4 weeks so much that we know within the next 24 hours, 48 hours, we are confirmed to be correct, that we can reduce the size of the energy supply for the car to a size of a hamburger, more or less a Big Mac. And we can reduce the size of the home unit to smaller than a serving plate, a thickness of, let's say, a cake, a birthday cake, a small birthday cake. So where you can connect it to the power supply of the house, and you cannot in most of the countries if you put any power into the grid, you're not compensated for, but what you take from the grid you have to pay for. So we are devising a system, a slight conversion, that you can use whatever you like in the house free, and whatever you put in the grid is the government's benefit. This should be out hopefully by the 3rd week latest of September. That's where I'm here now, going through the process to make the development, and the design is complete. We are checking everything out every day. Even during the holiday, Italy is close. People around us are helping and working with us to develop it. And at the moment, in September, we'll deliver the first batch. And then we are seeing results from the people who are using these systems, what is happening to it in the background, what are the things we have to be careful with, what are the things we have to watch that we do not cause any problems by bringing new technology in. Like now we advise people, if you have a gas cylinder in the car, please remove the gas cylinder from the car if you want to use such a technology. If we explain scientifically that why you don't use the fuel, but because it's a plasma technology and it goes through the starter motor to get the crankshaft moving, and then there is no material connection electrically between the crankshaft and the crankshaft and the camshaft till the spark plugs. Now we see a current flow through the whole structure of the motor of the car, and then it goes to the spark plugs and it goes back into the battery. So now what we've seen, the damage to do to the spark plugs in one system. Now we understand what we showed originally. We're going to show in 26th of November 2011, which was a car without the engine. We took the engine out, was correct. We have to take the engine out of the car if you're using the plasma technology. There's a development that people have to decide what they're going to do with it. We see reduction in the steering friction with the ground. The car drives totally different. We had people who actually, they think they see the car is performing, even mechanics are checking the car, they say the car performance is totally different. So the units are, they'll be in public. I think the first batch of 2,000-3,000 we release, we hold for about a month or two to see what we have to adjust, if the system is too powerful to lower it. And then we go to the next batch of, we estimate about several hundred thousands a month by the Keshe Foundations worldwide. And we teach it. We put the design on the internet of the Keshe Foundation organization, that every Keshe Foundation can develop it, market it for the people of the nation.
Well, that's excellent news. So you're actually seeing a lift effect take place in the cars themselves. That's what accounts for the different handling. So it's lightening
It
the weight of the car.
is people who are using it reporting it.
Okay.
People who are using it are reporting different effects from the car, because there's a way to do it. Some people, they think because they build the unit, they don't see a result because they haven't done the right connection. They don't understand how to connect it properly. So the people who are around it, they say they feel the steering change. It's even the old car, it works perfect with the old car. Your old car literally drives like a Rolls Royce, they say, because everything is changed. We see the charging of the battery. These are what we're getting reported on, and the foundation usually works on what comes from the grassroots of the foundation.
Okay. So, all right. So all right. I'm with you. I'm following it. I just hope the listeners are. What other new developments do you have? What other new products are coming down the pike?
The material we are doing now, we've seen the production of the water. The water production material will be soon marketed by the Keshe Foundation worldwide. We have to test it further, that what it is there, because we tried it before. Now it explains a lot of things scientifically. The pain material in different shape or forms. We will releasing a new pain relief for foot. If you have a pain in your foot and the organs of the body, you can slip it in the shoe like a slip-on, and we see the changes. We are preparing the systems for full lift, because we know 3 people have managed to achieve lift up to now, but they want to stay on the background. And the lift is inevitable, coming up within the next few, maybe days or weeks. Somebody will go public with it.
Okay, so whenever we're talking about lift, we're actually talking about the anti-gravitational effect itself, correct?
It's not levitation. It's a positioning of the car in respect to the gravitational field and magnetic field of the Earth. There is no anti. It's just finding a position between the gravitational magnetic field of the car and gravitational magnetic field of the planet. We call it MAGRAP positioning, magnetic gravitational position, because Earth is not anti-gravity, it's got gravity and magnetic field. So when you want to create a position, you have to consider both. Earth has a magnetical field, which is its atmospheric conformation, and it's gravitational, which will hold us to it. So when we have a system which has both, these full forces have to find their position. And we see it because now that the cars are getting used more and more, all the wiring and the structure of the body of the car is getting nano-coated through the plasma, which is running through this cigarette, because you connect this system through the cigarette lighter of the car. So now, as I said to our people this afternoon when they were teaching privately, that the car will become a unit on its own, like a spaceship. It has its own gravitational magnetic field, and then it has to decide how much it charges to where it charges. We've done this. We've seen the wires of even in the building being nano-coated without even being touched by anything, because the field of the plasma converts it to a nanostructure. This has all been taught for past 2-3 years solidly, and it's been written books about it. It's not something fantasy. People are following it. Today we've seen some 15, 16, 20 reports of the different application by people in the medical application. We've seen the people who are reporting on daily basis what they have developed, what is the next generation of development. So everything is on the table. The whole course has changed because you can do it at home in the kitchen with a few cents. I've seen from Nairobi people building it. I've seen people from South America in the little places are building it. People in China are building it. Keshe Foundation in China now has voluntary made by people. 3 or 4 Keshe Foundation research groups are set up. We expect the first public lift to be shown by the Chinese, very hopeful. We have a new position in Malta, what I call new generation of plasma scientists. I think he will achieve lift very soon, extremely soon, but he doesn't see it. Until he doesn't achieve it, I just guide him. I hope he can see it. And we'll see where he goes. But our plan, our target is to use the technology for world peace, and that's what we are aiming at, to force governments to take the pressure off the people, that governments follow the people, not the people the governments, as it happened today and it hasn't worked.
Okay. Okay. You just do a lot out there. There's a whole lot. I don't know if I want to go back and ask specific questions about it or not. But how far off do you estimate that actual space travel will be available to the rest of the race of mankind?
If it's done the correct way within the next 12 months.
Within 12 months, okay.
Maximum. This is the way that may be faster because there are a lot of people. There are thousands and thousands of people are testing. Thousands of people are testing. It's not 1 or 2. It's not odd people. If you go to China, Keshe Foundation is in the top 4,000 websites in China. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Worldwide, we're sitting right in the top out of millions and millions of websites. We're in the top 200,000. We used to be 28 before we had to move from Belgium and everything which happened to us. And we see the same in America. We're building up. People are not coming back to us because they want something new. People come back, join the foundation because they want to make the difference. With the World Peace Map now on the table, and His Excellency President Putin sending it to Doma, and in the past week or 2, we are sure we get a confirmation from the Iranian government to support such a move. And then we have asked our followers to go to United Nations to push for the World Peace Map, which is the disarmament or stop firing 1 day a week and then 2 days, 1 day a month and then 2 days a month, and building it to full disarmament in 16 months. We're on target. I today in our teachings put a new announcement out. As you know, the peace process between Iran 5+1, which signed now, and I've heard, as I said today, that the head of the opposition team has resigned because he says the agreement with Obama and Iran is correct. As I explained to you in your last interviews we had with you, a couple of interviews, people have to see the benefit of it. Which senator in the parliament gonna refuse 10 million new jobs, which is technology?
Oh, I'll tell you which one. Senator John McCain, Senator Lindsey Graham, Senator Chuck Schumer. There's a number of these senators out there who they do not have the best interest of the American people, even though that's their fiduciary duty. They don't care about it.
I'll put it this way, people will make them care about it. They will change their tune. We've seen the first one change in the head of the opposition team, because they are becoming, the old programs are listened to a lot of people. Our teachings are listened very heavily. We know the White House keeps a very close tab in what we teach. We know the Kremlin does the same with China. The same with the most foreign nations around the world are watching what this technology is going to do. As I said, you know it, I've said that so many times before. When I put my hand across the table with the American officials from the American embassy in Belgium 2.5 years ago, when they asked for the key, the technology key, patent applications and the rest, and I said, this is a hand of the peace from Iran. You want the technology comes from Iran, let's talk about peace. The officials did not know what to do in the restaurant. We were sitting on the table having coffee. Says, Mehran, we can't shake hands. We don't have authorization. And you see, we followed it up, and now after 2.5 years, we achieved peace. A handshake on the table would have brought it much easier. But Distrust and mistrust took it 2.5 years, but everything which I said in 2.5 years brought the peace home. I objected the last 2 weeks to it because a new technology, which is a plasma technology, energy has come in, and I thought Iran, with the signing of a plasma contract as a sideline to the whole structure to create some thousands of PhDs in MIT and in the University of California and the rest, was a bit too much to pay by Iran. But on the other hand, the technology of Iran, the plasma technology, is partially is what I've developed, is the assets of the world, not just the Iranian nation. And now today, as you know, now we achieved peace through technology when we gave the key of technology to the American government. Now I put the hand piece to the government of Israel.
Well, I'm really glad that these developments are taking place, and I get frustrated when I watch the regular mainstream media news, and they come out and they say that Iran's going to build the bomb. It's going to be dangerous.
Let me,
That's the biggest joke in the world. They don't need the bomb. They've got
let
technology
me,
that's a light year ahead of that.
the technology of cash plasma technology adopted by the Iranian government during the time of His Excellency President Ahmadinejad is well set. It's part of the package.
Okay, well, we've got our first break, so everybody stick around. We'll be right back. More with Dr. Mehran Keshe right after the short break here. Right back. Well, good afternoon. Welcome back. This is Mike Harris, broadcasting on veteranstoday.com, also broadcasting on freedomslips.com, Studio B Revolution Radio. Today is Thursday, August 13th, 2015. My guest is Dr. Mehran Keshe. Dr. Keshe, welcome back, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
I've got a couple of things for you here from listeners. They got some questions. I've got a listener in Cameroon who's a close friend of mine, Alex, and he wants me to put him in touch with you right away to get this energy product over there because he says it's necessary that they have to have it, that they're poor and they just don't have the resources to develop their economy, that they need this desperately. So after the show, I'll put you two together.
Put them down to the webmaster. It's the way we work. You send a webmaster at keshefoundation.org, and the webmaster team will handle it. It's what it is will come to me, or it goes to somebody who knows what to do around the foundation.
Okay.
Africa is one of our main targets. Our technology teaching is free for Africa. But some Africans abuse this because we see an African taking the points and putting it like things for himself to make money out of it in Africa. Do not abuse our gift to your continent. That's the only thing I want to tell you. We know in past couple of weeks some Africans have done something which is totally wrong in publishing what is not supposed to be published, and we had to warn them. We teach you freely. We give the technology to you freely. Never steal a gift.
Well, I agree with that, but this is a close personal friend of mine, and so I'll
no problem. Put them in touch with their website, webmasters. We teach them. We can make a trip for Alex to teach in the universities. When Alex teaches in universities and places in Africa, we will live broadcast it in the university. This means he will teach the world, not one nation, one university. We're going to make one family out of the whole lot of the human beings and universities.
Okay. Then I have another comment from one of your insiders wanting me to ask you about the car key power supply.
Who is the insider? We showed this in public 2 weeks ago.
It's my producer, Brett.
Brett? Oh, he is a brat. Yeah. No, the car, I bought this key a few days before the closing day of the University Institute for summer holidays. And the whole, as I said, we come up with, very soon I will allow the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers to produce a CD energy disk. But the key is, in a way, instead of putting the key in the ignition in the car and using a fuel, it does the same thing as the beats, but in a more powerful way. So your key is your fuel tank, is your energy tank. So you divert the energy from the environment which is in the key and the environment within the car to feed back, to start through the starter motor, and then in the long term change the whole structure to a magnetic field system. This is for technology to be understood. We explain how you can make out of the plasma we produce physical structure without ever any material being used. This is in the deep teaching of the foundation. This to a lot of people sounds fairy tale, but the people who follow the technology and they are students in the institute, they understand how it has happened, because the school of thought and the understanding of the physics and the plasma of it has understood. So we are going into the direction of creating cars without actually having a nail and a platform of it. Because if you understand, the skin of your body is created by the interaction of 3 layers of magnetic fields, what we call 3 layers of the skin. And then it gives it the physicality, the tangibility. Now we have understood this, we're repeating this, that by creating conditional plasmas, we can create structures without actually having any material. And this is structure in the deep space. Keshe Foundation is a space program. So in the space we don't need to take any material. The plasma takes, in respect to the environment, the structure which saves it from and can manifest its existence. So the key is a step to the next lot, which means you carry the energy. Don't forget, in 1 atom of hydrogen, there is enough energy to last a man's lifetime, if you know how to tap into it. And in the key is millions of them. But because you have not understood the conversion of the plasma into physical motion, this is hard for you. Because you are used to pushing a pedal, getting a gas, getting a mechanical situation where you convert vertical to horizontal and then to rotational, and the car is going. If you look, the magnetic gravitational field of the sun and the gravitational magnetic field of the earth creates the motion of the planet and the position of the planet thousands of kilometers an hour around this solar system, the same with the galaxies. Now we understand the concept, we can follow it. It's the same is with our power supplies. Our power supplies, a lot of people ask me, how much power does it produce? The plasma technology is that the system puts a plasma across your wires in the house. The plasma created expands the whole house. If you can see, let me explain. People who are making what we call these energy units in America, they're plugging it into the main and they're producing 120 volts and 50 or 60 hertz and no problem. The same bit by the same material is made here in Europe and they plug it in, it creates 240 without any adapters. Because the plasma, as it goes down the line, as is needed, it releases that package. It doesn't produce any energy. So if you have a DC system, the system only takes DC, but the plasma is DC. So any DC material you have in the house, your computer, blah, blah, whatever, will have a free day. You can use as much DC as you like. Convert all your system to DC. But when it comes to the AC, like your refrigerator or something else, then the system automatically takes from the plasma which is flowing in the system what it needs. But the thing is, you don't need any storage. You don't need to store it. That's why now that we open the hand of the what we call Tesla people, they open their patent. Because now they found out there's research so much when they put in, and now with the Keshe Foundation opening their system we showed in past few weeks, there is no, they don't have a patent. If they manage to get a patent for the energy system, there is something wrong with it because they're using nanotechnology of the Keshe Foundation. So they open their patent. So with this technology, whenever you need, as much as you need, the plasma delivers. Some people ask, how many kilowatts does it produce? It doesn't produce kilowatts anymore.
So really, it's adaptive to whatever the demand is what you're
no,
saying.
It's the plasma. It is the plasma which is delivers it. The plasma, in the way we release from from our material which we have produced, are so powerful that the plasma of a matter state, like vibration of electron, is nothing to it. It's a drop in the ocean. It's absolute drop in the ocean. So you can Take as much as you. One of the problems will be the limitation is your wiring in the house. But don't forget, we are releasing a new technology that the energy delivery becomes wireless. This was what Tesla did, but he couldn't understand how to do it gravitational magnetically. Now you can put a unit in your house and go to South America. You're connected to it. You take your refrigerator, you take your God knows whatever with you half a way around the world. You can still connect to the same tap. This is the beauty of it. I explained for the first time today's teaching how it's done, how the gravitational sits inside the magnetical. What absorbed is released, and once you release a magnetic field, it's like a mother with a child. Covers the whole of the planet. Doesn't matter if you go to Australia and the mother is here, you're not disconnected from your mother. So now this is why wireless energy delivery is a reality today through the Keshe Foundation plasma technology. Now the scientists, what are called new scientists, have to open it up. They have to understand it, that they can open it up. So in a way, you don't need to put a lamp and a wire to the wall anymore. You deliver it at a point, your energy source is sitting there. The point comes, do we need at every house one of these energy supplies anymore? Because you can take as much as you like, as many kilowatts as you like, if your system can carry and you can adapt it, because what you take from is nothing, is meager amount. If we are taking one and we're delivering 4 times more with the simplest version, we are developing a new technology which we'll show very soon, can deliver 10 to 20 times more into the grid. This is horrendous, but can the grid take this amount of energy? Or do we use one house, we say, okay, you become the supplier, the rest of the guys around the house, around the village and the street, take the energy he supplies. There is no crime. If we get all this connected, say to the government, we don't want energy supply, we all go on a free. It's exactly like the mobile phone. Mobile phone is a transfer of energy, which is like whatever you want to call it, but still a gravitational magnetic field. Wherever you go in the world, you can reach it. They know where you are. You can receive a telephone call in the back of the Africa from your mom in London. It's the same now with the energy. The taboo, these dams, these nuclear power stations is finished. That's why I said to the Israelis, we don't need it. You're asleep. You're in the last century game. Because now we can give units from Tehran freely to our friends in Israel. So use it. What's the Israelis going to do? They have no income from their national income. Of who they're going to tax for electricity? We do the same with the Palestinians. You can't put a nation in dark. In Africa, the power generating unit, what do you call it, the ministry, had no power to come online to talk to us when it was live, because even the ministry doesn't have energy. That's why we are going to Ghana. It's done by you and your friends, Mike. You know who we're talking about. So this is not a dream anymore. It's a reality which now people can do. Go on. I had a call yesterday from our friends in our new research center. They said, do you want us to shut down the 2 fans you left on? I said, no, as the fans work, the building is using free electricity from us running 2 fans. Let it run. At least you get free electricity while we are not there. So the position of energy has changed. The position of medical application has changed. The new health food has changed. Next 6 months, we'll see a huge change in the structure of the society. And that's why I push with the world peace, because this structure needs total governance. And I know His Excellency President Putin has understood. I know the Office of His Excellency President Rouhani has understood the change. And we know the Chinese government, His Presidency, has understood this. Americans know what is to come, but the White House is fear. It's a fear of how much they're going to lose. If you will not join and come within the rank of the Keshe Foundation, there will be no White House. There will be no White House, because nobody wants a president who cannot deliver what the nation already has. You will put your governments out of office because they did not serve you when it was needed. We told you what's happening in security talks we had in past few days. You know what's happening in Washington. Nobody is making a move to stop it. Why? We know, and you know, when you came to the opening of the Keshe Foundation, with Colonel Hankey. There was a call made to the police of Italy to stop the meeting. And this was a whole call made by the agents of the two countries. Why aren't you taking action? Deception in the name of the ambassador of a country is a huge crime. And a man has made a false telephone call through a system specifically set by the spies. We know who it is. Our securities have told you, and we informed the Americans. You were there. All of your Americans present did not know if you're going to attend to talk or not. Would the government allow you back, because they wanted to disrupt the opening of the Keshe Foundation. All of you, if you were sit with the opening of the Keshe Foundation, we were half an hour late, waiting for your Americans to decide if you're coming in to give your presentation. And we know who's done the call. 2 agents. We gave it to you yesterday. What's happening? What is the next step?
Well, it's in process. Let's just say that.
It's in the process. These people sit in Europe, have the capability to replicate the voice, and when you make a telephone call, intercept it and confirm it. It happened in your case. They didn't want you to come into this disrupt and discredit the Keshe Foundation. I thank you to you, Mike, and Colonel Hankey, in coming and standing for your rights.
Well, that we
because
did.
You couldn't get it confirmed with the White House. You couldn't confirm it with the Foreign Office, with the departments. You spoke with the embassies, and you knew it's a hoax, but you didn't know. You were not still sure, but you took the courage to come in and give the opening talk.
Well, Colonel Hankey, I have to thank him, because he got right on to the U.S. Embassy in Italy. I mean, this guy, he can open doors that, mere mortals can't open.
But now we know who's done it. Mm-hmm. You have names. You have, our security people gave you everything. They have imitated, they have copied the telephone number of the American embassy, and to call to the Italian police at the highest rank, that the highest rank police officer call us that there is such a call has come in, but because they knew how we work, they said, we don't accept it, it's your decision. How can these people operate? They sit in Europe, they sit now, they're in Washington. Your president is in line to be most probably assassinated by the same agent. And they're taking from one group to another free energy. You're vulnerable. Why don't you take action? This is the biggest crime, somebody imitating the voice of an ambassador. Position of an ambassador. Ambassador is representation of the president. Somebody has copied your president, you know who it is, why they've done it. And then you know how they walked in with it to laugh at your face, but you were much stronger. Well, you know it. You have to take action.
Well, Colonel Hankey and I both stood up and we did what we came to do. So,
yeah. Well, the thing is, we have to watch the peace. We have to watch how the delivery of this technology is not going to be easy. It's a huge amount of money. But now it's thousands of people are doing it. It's you who have to stop the process. They are trying to put you against China. We know what's happening. We talk close enough. My security people enlighten me enough to be open with American security to see what is happening. We give you a straight book off the line. We know who made the telephone calls. You want to listen to the recording of it? Why don't you take action? Somebody has represented your president with a fraudulent name and with a number that could be traced because intercepting. What's the outcome? These are the things we have to watch. There are people who do not want to see peace between nations. These are the people who do not want to see new technologies in.
Well, Mr. Keshe, there is a hard reality to life, and that is there is a class of people out there that profits off of the suffering of others. And those are really the enemies of mankind. They're the enemies of all mankind.
Yes, but how far can we push this behind? How far can we ignore the reality? How far are we allowing them to do it, or we take the realms in our hand? I've asked the Keshe Foundations, go to the White House and stand and give the road peace map to the president. We did it with the other peace message. It was handed to the White House, and we saw what President Obama answered us on 24th of July 2013. I have to kill because as a president I have to kill. I said, I'm ashamed to receive such a letter from the president. And we gave the roadmap to Kremlin, and we see what President Putin has done with it. Embraced it, sent it to Duma. In September, we talked to Duma to see how we can. Now I ask the Keshe Foundation supporters, you as a member of the American public, go to United Nations and give it to the Secretary General. This is what we want. What is wrong with this writing? Peace, in orderly manner, long term, that we can adjust to it. There is nothing wrong with it. The only thing is wrong is the people who lose, as we call the Russian mistresses, the Russian girls on the boats in the sea. I know that. I've been there, and I know how they live. I'm not somebody who dreams. I used to be as part of that structure. I know how girls turned up for $10,000 a night. They turn up with a certificate of virginity that the goods are delivered in perfect condition. I've seen the certificates. This is what your guys in the White House and around Washington are going to lose. Otherwise, is there any other reason?
Let's talk a little bit. Let's expand this conversation. Planetary-wide, what changes do you see coming that this technology is going to propagate on like I said, both on a social level as well as on a economic, financial level?
This technology will be like a bread on the table of every man on every table on this planet in the coming time. You want water, you produce water with it. Today, go on the teaching of today. A gorgeous American comes on the line so simply showing the most simple way that you can produce from ashes water. Ashes of the wood, he produces water from the metal. And he's so eager to show it the perfect way. Just go on the teaching, he's done it today. We see a Filipino coming and showing how he has used the metal to heal, to reverse diseases. This is the way Keshe Foundation works. Nobody, in 6 months ago, a year ago, they would have been sitting in the houses writing patents. Nobody sees non-disclosures. These guys find out, they come straight away. This is how it should be. We want to change the humanity as one race, as the Keshe Foundation, as one group, as group of people who become scientists of the new knowledge. Most of the people who are coming with the latest technology, they are ordinary people without PhDs. Anybody has a PhD, doctorate, professor, they will have stopped this because they wasted their life doing it. Then it stops their income. We don't wait for a peer review. Today, just please go on the keshefoundation.org forum, look at the 74 teaching, knowledge seeking. See how openly the knowledge is dispersed. They even tell you how to make it, what to do is not wrong, and they advise you for it. This has been unheard of. It's the first time ever human race has shared knowledge collectively as one race. We do it from African to Filipinos to the Chinese. The Maltese guy, he's so eager, he just comes on. He doesn't even ask, can I come in? He comes and shares knowledge. The same with the American. He was asleep. Somehow we woke him up through his soul and he comes and he teaches. We don't know barriers. Keshe Foundation is across the universe, across this planet. The only thing is, everybody is waiting for a delivery of the confirmation, because this way they can justify their ignorance. So, we are ready, we deliver. But the thing is, as I said, you will see the ignorance. It needs a lot of courage. It needs a lot of courage and a lot of power. We are not putting the hand of peace to Israel out of fear. We're putting a hand of peace to Israel out of our strength. We have shown, we stood with the 5 most powerful nations in the world for 2.5 years. We took what was our right. So we didn't negotiate as a weak point. And we didn't flinch for you opening a few dollars to us. We are putting the hand of peace to Israel out of our strength, out of not putting another Iranian on a plane which they want to destroy a nuclear power station or kill another Iranians, but another Jewish Iranian to benefit a few. We saved that life. Every life is precious. We are putting hand of peace to Israel in a very direct way. Your Excellency, Prime Minister of Israel, The hand of peace was on the table. Shake it, let's talk.
Well, I hope he accepts the handshake.
He will accept. He has no choice because we are brothers. 30% of the Israeli population are Iranian.
Yeah, that's what you said, yeah.
I come from that blood. Half of my family were the first immigrants to establish the state of Israel. The children I was brought up, ate and slept with. They are part of the structure of the Israeli government. We know what we are talking about. We are not somebody who's a dreamer. These are the boys I sat with my grandmother, each lap, me on one lap and my cousin on another lap of my grandmother, my great-grandmother. So we are not drinking from different fountains. We're all the same. Even the Jews and the Muslims are all the same. They just changed their name in halfway to suit who or what. We're all carrying a red blood. And we all come from the same source, this planet. Peace is inevitable. The way I set up the roadmap for peace, only enemy of human race will refuse it. And only the people who are enemy of their nations will refuse it.
Well, Mr. Keshe, I do see evidence around that there are some enemies of the human race on this planet, it seems.
The thing is, they say, what we're going to do with our armies. What are we going to do with 200? You know, when I was young, I told you this before. I watched when you lot came back from Vietnam. I was 12, 13, 14 years old. There were so many soldiers in Vietnam that they couldn't bring everybody back in one go to United States. What did they do? They dispersed it to Iran, Middle East, that they could slow the process of return over 3 or 4 years. We landed up with a lot of American colonels and generals and everything. They used to be tenants in our properties. And I saw what happened. You have to find a job for these people. They have to justify they have a job. So the problem of peace is to show the military man, you still have a job. Now instead of destroying, let's build roads, let's build new equipments, let's build new structures of society using it. Shah of Iran did during his regime by the White Revolution.
Okay, well, here's our break. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes more with Dr. Mehran Keshe after this short break. Stick with us, folks. Well, good afternoon. Welcome back. This is Mike Harris broadcasting on veteranstoday.com. We're also broadcasting...
What happened?
I hit the mute button. We're also broadcasting on freedomslips.com, Studio B. And welcome back, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about your comment about hospitals going out of style here. Let's talk about the developments in medicine, okay?
The development in medicine is exactly the development with the energy. We deliver, as you go, as I said, we've been doing this for 15 years now. And we have put this in front for 10 or 15 years. Now we opened the technology a few weeks ago in teaching, and now we have brought the technology far enough that the people have started using it. So if you have all sorts of diseases, talk to the people around the Keshe Foundation. Go on the Keshe, don't go on any Keshe Foundation thought group, because this is hijacked by people who are agents of governments trying to discredit us. Go only anywhere but thought groups at this moment, because it's literally hijacked by terrorists of the internet. Go to keshefoundation.org. Go to the forums. Learn. Get in touch through this Keshe Foundation with the new plasma scientists around the world, which they teach you and at the same time show you how to make systems to help yourself. The most expensive system to get rid of a toothache, get off the back pain, is less than $1. Well, that's the most expensive system, which if you can't make it, we make it. We have to pay top wages in Europe. We put a profit to be able to share the knowledge on the top. We do it for you. That's what it is. Keshe Foundation's 10 organizations should start producing. Then you have to pay for our services. And then we guide you. One of the policies I've made is that we do not send any paperwork of you've seen these things in 10 languages, paper after paper. If you had enough to give an order to a computer, you can go back to the Keshe Foundation website and read what you have to do. We save paper, we save life of vertical people, what we call. So you can go and find out you have a pain. In the coming weeks, we are making like a what I call the report from different people. The websites are getting put up that you got a migraine, you look Keshe Foundation, migraine, what they did, what was the effect, if it suits me, which system was used. The most expensive system is $2, I can make it myself. The pins, the needles, the pens, already our designers are working on it to be shipped, to be done, and we automatically work on it. So, you can do it yourself. Cancers can be changed. Understand?
Well, let's talk about cancers, because what do we need to do to get a test for someone who wants to do a cancer trial and be completely open to the public?
Do it yourself. We advise you, we show you how to do it. If you come to me, I charge €30,000. Because the money I charge for the foundation to pay for the expenses around it. I tell you how you can do it yourself. We are developing not technology for today. We are developing a technology for a space that we don't need to take any doctors and medicines. And now today you've seen it for the first time. Medicine in the bin. Doctors in the bin. Because you don't need it. A lot of doctors have opposition. They will oppose, this is criminal, it'll do this and that. We've seen it, the agent of the Belgium is going all over the internet putting this is dangerous, this is this, because they lost control. For 10 years control Keshe Foundation in Belgium. Now in Italy, open is going everywhere, it's become something wrong with it. Where they used to be insider, influencing the policies because they could control it. We get opposition from doctors because there is no need for a doctor. Because now we have paid for a system with 2 groups coming in September, October in Keshe Foundation Center, where diagnosis can be done to the pinpoint accuracy. I'm sure the gentleman is listening to it. We pay $12,000 for it. It's a Russian system. We have another Russian system in conjunction with Italian, which is coming in to develop that you decide what it needed, where the disease is, and then we deliver through the technology the right appropriate fields, not by frequency. Body hasn't got a frequency. That's most of this system fail. When we deliver gravitational magnetic field, give and take. You give what you don't need, I give you what you need. Plasma, that's how plasma works. So hospitals, in the way we see it, accident, emergencies, yes. We had the fire brigade of Italy here with us when we received the package from Japan, from Fukushima. The fire brigade were in the middle of the yard of the foundation, testing the materials which came from Fukushima. As you know, we've been involved in Fukushima disaster reversal, and they confirmed we are correct. And then the officers, fire brigade officers told me, we had a huge explosion near here. Nearly 10 or 15, so many people died because of this fire, where they make firework, it just exploded. He said there are a lot of people with the burns. I said, take us to the station, to the hospital. We have a technology that allows the skin to reprocess 10, 20 times faster. Instead of taking a month and 2 or 3 days ago. It's not fairy tale. I've used the technology when I broke my ribs. I broke 10 ribs in one go, falling off the horse. Within less than 14 days, I gave a 5-hour lecture with my liver, my kidneys, and everything else torn to pieces with the broken ribs. It's well documented in the hospitals in Belgium. Because it works. It just changes the way the body needs a repair is done. So now you can use these pain pads you have to put on a burn, and you see how fast first degree, second degree, or third degree burn will go. Never touch the material with the body direct. You have to put a barrier that the fields of the material interact with your body. You never swallow the material. You allow the fields of the material to enter the body without direct interaction.
So the key is interaction of the fields, not direct contact.
Of course, we are conditioned to the world. We 80% of the energy daily use consumption comes from the environment without actually swallowing a piece. Thus you call it aura. Where do you think your aura comes from? is the interaction of the field of your body with this environment. Where does the light of the body of this planet comes? The interaction of the field of the body of this planet with the sun creates the light. You do this, that's your aura. That's what you call Coulomb's barrier interaction. So now we can put energy in a specific part of this aura that the body needs. So in that environment increases delivery, you get better faster. We are not playing with the matter anymore. We're playing with the energy system which the universe is built on. So we call it the plasma, gravitation to hold, magnetic to give. The body is in pain, it takes what it needs, and what it doesn't need, it gives back out. Go on the testimonial of 10 people from Malta today, released by the people who done the testing. We have a Keshe Foundation Health Center in Malta, run by one of the most beautiful men I know. He's devoted his life to serve humanity, a teacher. So yeah. You can do it. Go to the hospital. You have people with a pain, tooth pain. Just spend 6 hours. Think you've gone to a movie. Go and listen to the 74th lecture. Next week, we don't put any time. Whenever we get tired of teaching, because we cannot carry on anymore, 6 hours, so there was more than enough. Next week, we have a doctor, which with his son, who's becoming a doctor, they want to tell everyone how the technology has helped the father with, after chemo, he was given 18 months to live, even with removal of the tumor cancer from the brain. 2.5 years, 3 years down the line, there is no sign of cancer because we have managed to reverse the effect of chemo. And he's a doctor with a full monthly control, blood and everything else that is correct. German scientists collaborated with us with this. So the cancer, aftercare cancer is finished. You can do it yourself at home, less than $2. Try it. I encourage you to try it, because if you do, put it this way, I said this morning to the teachings, when you go and open a pack of eye drop, for example, what I said today, you see it's written there, these are the side effects. These side effects is men who got paid to live because they have no money. They became guinea pigs for you to be able to use the eye drop. Why? If you use, how many times you have used medicines which others have been guinea pig? Why don't you put back something in the society, you become guinea pigs for the others? But with this, there is no side effect. You just show how faster and the way it's done.
So really what this does is it puts the body in its optimal condition.
It brings the situation in balance, what is needed.
Okay.
Go to the Keshe Foundation this week, next week more testimonial next week, more delivery of new technology in medicine next week. I can show you how you get amputated arm, you can rebuild your arm. I've done it, this is not theory. I've done it, it can be done.
You can take an amputated arm and regrow it.
As long as it's fresh, yes.
Okay.
Not because don't forget, this is not a fairy tale. Your brain replaces every single cell in your body every 9 years. So the information sits in the brain. All we have to create a condition that the information is fed back to reproduce. Today it reproduces one cell in the nail of the arm. Tomorrow it replaces the nail on the skin. Few milliseconds, another one. There are billions of cells in your arm, and everything, the oldest piece of your body, as I always say, is 9 years old. So the memory is there. We are not using to fairy tale. Now we allow the body to create that condition further and further to allow the growth of the arm back in. Amputation, these things will become a history of the past in the next 5 or 10 years, when the more scientists bring the data in on to do it. Today, for the first time, I've shown how to be able to control gravitational and magnetical to be able to produce any material in the universe. We've been doing it now for 3 weeks now because we put the system on the floor. People have seen it, they can relate to it, they build on it. Man's history has changed. We have no choice. It's done, it's finished.
Well, these are fabulous things. Like I said when you're opening the Spaceship Institute, whenever I was there, that I grew up in that generation where we were launching Redstone rockets and trying to get the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs up, and then our government dropped the ball and quit it. So I find this to be all very exciting. And I would like to get both our country and our race back on track to actually go out and explore the stars. It's time.
Just come with us. Or come with yourself. You don't need to come with us. You'll be amazed how a spaceship will be built without a single screw, a single piece of material. Because now we have learned how to produce matter out of energy. This was the promise of the holy books. When a man understands the transmutation of the elements, he can transfer from the gas, from plasma to matter. So you decide where and how, and I'm teaching this to my scientists. They're all scientists. No, we have no PhDs. In Keshe Foundation, we don't have doctors and Mr. blah blah. We all are scientists. We all become teachers. I sit and learn as much as anybody is prepared to teach us. And we have seen people who come to us and they thought they can steal a meager technology to make a battery and disappear. They don't disclose. This shows the incapability of the understanding of the totality. But in a way, it shows us how people are made of, what they are made of, who we can know that they share knowledge with us. We have a beautiful Keshe Foundation in China. The most amazing people. They are in such an eager position to show everything. They have opened a research center that people can go and test. They want to show. So it's us who's got to walk away from shackles of our own self-ego, which a lot of people are trying to be. I'm very egoistic. If I was egoistic, I would have never released a single piece of this technology. I would have been much richer than Bill Gates and all of the top 10, 20 richest people in the world in the bank. But my knowledge is the wealth of humanity. So let's see how they use it.
Well, let's see how it goes. I'm quite eager. I want this to succeed.
No, don't trust me anymore. You have a toothache, you have a pain. Go on the Keshe Foundation website, learn how to make these nanomaterials with less than $1, and then put it the way it's shown in the teaching today, safely on the tooth, and see how long it takes the pain to go away. You got a back pain. Make a belt of these little wires. I said today, you have one of these lamp tops on the table, which you don't use from grandma's, is in the basement. Go and cut the wire, strip the copper out, cut it, do what we've shown in our teachings of creating nano-coated materials. There you are. You got your energy system, you got your pain pad, you got your food supplement, everything. Just a piece of wire from old grandma's lamp on the side. The old copper wires were very pure. They are the best. So all the energy doesn't sit in the cable, sits in what you do with the cable. It's, the guy said to the officer said to the soldier, what's the gun? He said, it's a gun, sir. He said, no, this is not a gun. This is your mother. This is your father. This is your nation. And he went to the next soldier saying the same thing. What's this gun? He says, it's the guy's father, mother, and the country. Don't be the next soldier. Be the soldier to understand and save and defend your own right to have a right to good health, enough energy, and be able to support another human being. We're teaching it freely. Just go tonight, spend 6-7 hours, learn about the Keshe Foundation, how you make nanomaterials from the material which is in your hand, how it's done, and explain scientifically. Cut it in pieces, make your guns, cut it in pieces, connect it together. You have a pain, tooth pain, just put it on it the way it's shown in teaching today by our friends from Philippines. And if it doesn't work, you say, these stupid people wasted my time. You waste enough time drinking and being drunk. Why not at least be happy and healthy?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's one of my few things. I do enjoy a glass of wine occasionally, and it's just how things work sometimes. But
try it yourself. Don't rely on us if you're telling the truth. And if you can't do it, come back. And during the program just now, I've seen a woman from Egypt sending a message, helping a child from a child of 5 years old in the Middle East. How can I refuse to help a child?
Well, that's the thing. None of us can. That's just it.
But how many people can I help this way now, the way we started teaching of the health? Now, millions of you can help millions of you. And that is what I wanted from the beginning. If the Belgian government wouldn't put me on assassination list and help me so much and put one of their biggest spy in the center of my organization, we would have been heaven already.
So how much time do you think that cost you, having a saboteur, a spy inside your organization?
And they served us well, allowed us to mature, allowed us to write a book, allowed us to be known internationally. If they always serve us good. Whoever came to harm us served us. Whoever came to harm us. They came in different colors. They come. You cannot believe the way they walk through the Keshe Foundation. The students have seen. There is not a week we don't get people coming from all over the world. They just want to sit there for a few days to learn. It's become like a mecca of scientists. No university allows anybody to go in to sit in a classroom. People come. The Americans have come. People come from India. People come from all over the world. They come from Italy. They just want to sit in the classroom for a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks. The knowledge seekers can. Our door is open. I said to Caroline, my wife, a couple of days ago, now that we moved into a new center and the teaching room, I'll open the door. Anybody who likes to walk in, they can learn. My knowledge is free for humanity. It's going to be chaos. We had this problem in Ninove in Belgium. But now, thanks to the Italian government, we are free. They give us enough freedom, they give us enough protection to live a free life, near enough free. Thanks to the office of the Prime Minister of Italy and the support we have received from the Italian nations. Now we can share knowledge with the Italians, and the Italians have embraced us in this country, and I thank them, all of them. If the Belgians would have served us, you would have been amazed what would have been to Belgium. I'm going to release a document very soon that what happened to people who were in center of us. This letter we put shame. It's in Flemish. It says, Keshe Foundation should stay a Belgian organization and only for Belgium. Not even Mr. Keshe's secretary, who's Dutch, is accepted. So now you know where we are. And this is by the guy who sits in the closest place with the Keshe Foundation. We're going to release this email. Today we showed his face supporting the Keshe Foundation. We welcome them back. We don't fight them. I'm going to release a document in the handwriting, in the email of the gentleman who says how they're going to take a coup d'etat and take over the Keshe Foundation and its income and then give it to the people. At that time, the only Keshe Foundation income was the books I was selling. So they wanted to kill me to have the income. That was a new, straight, direct assassination plan in front of us. We're going to release this email. We kept it for 3 years. We're going to release it. And it's signed by the Belgians. How to assassinate me in black and white, how to frighten me. How they're going to take over the Keshe Foundation Center. The email is in Flemish and it carries the name of the person who we're talking about. I told you we don't fight, we let them do it. Today we put the face on the internet, how they praise the technology and how they show they plan to take over the technology. And what they plan, they show now. We're going to release how they're planning to keep the technology only for Belgium. And they couldn't do it to assassinate us. Now they're going for, what do you call it, assassination of, what do you call it, character. Nobody listens. They see the technology. A fool can always shout fool. You'll be amazed what technology is going to do in Italy. I thank the Italians. We are well known. I just explained this morning in my teaching. Last night we were somewhere. We asked for a taxi. They called the taxi, me, my wife, and son. As we got to the taxi, I sat in there. The guy said, excuse me, are you? I said, who? He says, are you? Are you Mr. Keshe? I said, yes. He says, I follow you, we do. In Italy, we are well known for our work. Because we respect the nation and its work within the nation. I brought jobs into this country. Already we are creating jobs here.
Well, that's a key thing in these economic conditions. The global economy needs a reset. And it's time. Like I said, I welcome this.
Why can't be a pleasure reset?
That too. Everybody is so serious. Everybody is struggling so hard just to survive that many people have forgotten.
Foundation, how to make a nano coating. Get your energy bill saved. Get your medical bill. You don't need what do you call it, Medicare and the rest. Mm-hmm. We were talking with you a few days ago, saying that you carry so many insurance policies for your health. We can do better in Bahamas because now you can get a nano-coated wire, the way we show it, put it on the pain. There is no pain, there is no hospital, you don't need insurance, money is in the pocket. A handbag is nicer on the hand of a woman than actually a bandage on the arm of it. I prefer to have a handbag than a bandage paid to the hospital with the insurance policy.
Well, absolutely. I'd much rather see a woman with a handbag on her arm than a bandage or a cast.
You love women, I know.
Well, they are our other half. We can't live without them.
Yeah,
we can't live without them.
Yeah, very much.
So anyway, be sure and tell Caroline that I said hello.
She says hello.
Oh, good, because she's very charming, and she's always so sweet and nice and such a gracious hostess to me every time I come visit.
She is the backbone of the foundation.
Well, she is. She's a very, very nice woman. Anyway, we've got about a minute left here, Mr. Keshe. Why don't you give out your website so that people can...
The website is Keshe, Keshe Foundation.com. My only message today from this interview is, I invite you, Your Excellency, Prime Minister of Israel. Come home. Come to Iran. We welcome you. But come as a man of peace. This is a message from Tehran to you. Bring your cabinet. We open everything you want to see. As long as you are not there to steal and then destroy what you're shown. Come in as a friend. Iran is your home. Thank you very much.
Well, let's hope that he's listening, and let's hope that he takes it.
Depends how good your listeners are and how well they can get this message to Tel Aviv. That's your credibility.
Well, let's just hope that he listens. Well, just because he's told doesn't mean he's going to do it. That's has nothing to do with my credibility.
Oh, if he's going to listen, it's good. You mean?
Yeah, if he listens, is good, and no one wants to see that. Well, I can't say no,
last
but most people.
Last night you were interviewing the Syrian Minister of Justice.
Yes, I was,
and I said I would like to come on board because these people have paid enough for mistakes of the others.
Yes, they have.
Syrians did a lot of wrong things in Iran in the past 30 years. We all know they did a lot of wrong Syrians in Iran. Maybe what they are in is the payback of millions of lives in Iran. We all know the game of the politics.
Well, like I said, I can't comment because I don't know what I don't know. And,
so but it's better for you not to know. That's okay.
All right, well, Mr. Keshe, thank you so much for coming on. We're out of time. I appreciate you staying up and missing your dinner, and we'll have you back again real soon. Okay?
Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye bye.
Same to you.